Alright, CJ here. I've got a couple swings of Tiger here. The one on the right is from Tiger in '97. And I'm not sure. This obviously looks, for some reason, I've seen this video before. It seems like it's at Sahali at the PGA. I could be wrong, so if anyone knows exactly where that swing is, that's fine. Please let me know. The first thing that's really going to stick out to you, obviously, is Tiger's posture. When Tiger first came out, his posture, his rear end here, was a little bit more underneath him. In other words, if you look at it over here on the left, it's a lot further out. What we like to do, what we like to see is if I draw a line from the back of the shoulders, it should run through the tip of the knees into the balls of the feet. You can see in that sense that he's not quite there, whereas here he's a lot more athletic, and that's really just sticking your rear end out. You can also draw a line. We're gonna have a few lines here from the back of his pocket, in essence, and it just, you can see it looks like he's got a little bit more counterbalance behind him here. That's what we're wanting. These lines that are drawn vertically are definitely a little bit further apart, and that's really what you're looking for here. Is you're just looking and noticing the difference in the posture. Now, what Tiger has struggled with, and I don't want anyone to write in and say Tiger's the greatest player in the world and all that stuff. We can all agree that he's a great player, and I do expect him to start winning again, just like he did at the Chevron. But what we're going to see here, it's really going to come down to his putting. But what you're going to see here, this is for everyone at home, of how important the posture is. Now, Tiger, when he set up like this, he had a tendency to take the club back. You can see, and excuse the video just because it's taken from TV, you can see how it gets underneath that line. You can see the club head right in this fashion working underneath that line. When that happens, Tiger had a tendency to get a little bit more across the line. Now you might say, well, that looks like it's on the line. Because it's shorter parallel, that is across the line. When he did some changes with Hank, I think he went a little overboard. And in fact, if you look at Tiger on the right, this is '97. If you look at him in 2000, he had it perfect. Now this is more recent, but you're going to see here at the top, the club is a little bit more in front of him going back. Let's look at that line as it goes back. So these little changes there, when the club head goes from underneath the line to over the line here, he goes from across the line to a more laid off position. I'm not in agreement with where that position is. Right in between these is perfect, more covering up the hands. The club head should be right there, right next to the left hand, is what we're looking for. Now, as Tiger comes down, you're going to see on the right here, this was a very good swing. When Tiger, I've got other videos of Tiger, when he would bring it down, the club starts down in what we would refer to as a steeper position. You'll see here on the left how much the club matches the original shaft plane line here. So you can see just how much flatter the club is coming. Now, on this one on the right, again, what you're going to see with Tiger, so it's in front of him here more, which is good. Drops down more. In this one, you can see how it's coming on top of his forearm. That's great. This is going to be a good shot. Back there. Exits a little bit righter. A little high there, but that for Tiger, I should say. So it's definitely going to be a little bit of a push. When we're looking at this one, he maintained it steeper coming down. It's hard to see, I understand, but the shaft's right in there. You can see again, it's a little bit more space. When he was coming down here, you can see the minimal amount. The club was coming down a little bit steeper there, which is why when he got it just a fraction flatter, wasn't as much on the left, and he was able to go through that period of time where he just didn't really seem like he mishit many shots. But you can see how it's a lot more left now or I'm sorry, then in 97 than it is here. This is probably 2009, I think. So it's definitely working a lot higher. Therefore, that's why one reason why it wasn't as good. It was more set up for pushes and hooks. So, what I want you to learn from this, okay? Can we swing it like Tiger? No. Tiger's hypermobile. One reason he works out is to get less flexible to try to help keep the club in front of him. As students, what we're looking for amateurs, can you copy his posture? Absolutely. So what you're really looking for, posture is key. We do want to see the club go in front of us, stays a little bit more in front of us there. I don't want to see the laid off position, but as a general whole, you're seeing here how it's working. Now again, what we teach with the PCGS is a shaft plate or a shoulder plate, so that's a little bit steeper. Again, if you are hypermobile, if you have no problems with flexibility, if you're able to spend times in the gym, you can do a little bit more of what Tiger does. For the average golfer, that's not the case. So we won't get as much turn as him. We won't have our body contorted like him. But you can definitely copy his posture. But I thought it was just interesting to show you a little bit of the changes through the years. One, he was still working with Butch on the right. They ended up getting the club a little bit more in front of him at the start, not quite as laid off as the screen on the left. They really improved his posture. Tiger got stronger. A lot of things there, but you can see just how the setup really will affect the golf swing and the backswing. If you get that club a little bit in, all right, the difference from a little bit in to a little bit out, how it can affect really the swing at the top through the years. All right, so I hope you learned something from this. Again, just how important the posture is, how we want the club to work back along that line and then up the wall, and from there the club will stay a little bit more in front of you on the way down. That's what we're looking for. So I hope you enjoyed this time and took a little bit of posture away from it, and notice how important working the club back on that line versus under it or over it.